Moving on to the agenda item, we've asked Greg Morrison here to explain things to the City Council concerning where the project is and what's going on. As I mentioned before, how we will find out the impact of Omar.
Mr. Cashman, other members of the council, thank you for having me here tonight. It was my understanding after discussions with Mr. Cashman, what you see before you is what my understanding of what the council, at least initially, was looking for. What I prepared is to kind of just a breakdown of kind of where the project is, and if the city council about the project, what the city can do as an official body as far as the project is concerned. So if you look at the first bullet, it just explains that the FERC, which is the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, the environmental impact statement is complete. This is the federal environmental side of the project. The project number is there, 11858. And if you notice really quick, I'll just point this out so you know, I've listed a few helpful websites that the city manager might take a look at, and or the city legal counsel, if they're interested in making comments on any of these documents. The websites are listed below for you to go to. All you need to do is enter the project number, take you right there. You can work your way through it. Before FERC can actually consider approval of the lease license, even though the federal BIS is complete, before they can consider approval of the license, the following must occur. CEQA must be complete. Okay, CEQA hasn't started yet, so that's the state of California EIR process. There's two processes, the state and federal. Federal environmental process is complete. The state is the EIR. A proponent's environmental assessment, a PEA, and the project number is listed there, is being reviewed right now by the CPUC. So if the council has a desire to comment on that document, you have the website below and the project number where you can do that. The California State Water Resources Control Board must issue a 401 water quality permit before the FERC can act on this project. And that website is also listed on the bottom. And then the CPUC must issue a certificate of public convenience and necessity called a CPCN. And that project number is listed below. Once those after those are complete, the EIR process can begin in earnest. And that would give you, this is kind of your first bite of the apple, if you will. If the council has comments they want to make about the project and its impacts, potential impacts, whatever they might be to Wildemar, in these two documents you have the ability to do that. And then you'll have a second bite of the apple when the actual EIR process under CEQA begins. The draft EIR will be complete and open for comment, and at that point, all the interested parties, not only the city of Wildemar, but all the other cities in the county of Riverside will be impacted as well. That's my report to the council. I'd be happy to answer any questions the council might have.
Does the council have any questions?
When do you think the EIR will be going on? See that there's still a lot of steps to do.
There aren't necessarily a lot of steps left to do, but the steps that are done here do take some time. And unfortunately, the CPUC is a state agency, and they don't move really faster than the federal government. So it's hard to say when it won't be a secret. It will be noticed widely because the CEQA laws require us to do that. So you'll be well aware of comment period.
Do you have any sort of idea, like the end of the year, end of 2008, beginning of 2009?
It's hard to say. Maybe fall of this year would be best case. Maybe worst case winter or beginning of next year.
And maybe for the audience and also for us, maybe explain actually what the lease is, and this also includes the transmission lines?
Yes, ma'am. The project that's submitted under all of these project numbers is one project.
One project with the lines.
The pump storage facility that generates the electricity and the transit.
You say
Transmission.
this, under CEQA must be complete the environmental assessment. Do you anticipate the environmental assessment will recommend that a full-blown EIR be prepared?
I can't say whether it would recommend it or not, but experience tells us that there will be a full-blown EIR.
Okay. And I know when I had read the federal, the pumping plant was not included in that in terms of impacts. It said, we'll look at that later.
Well, this is because this is under the CPUC, and the CPUC has jurisdiction over the transmission
Okay,
line.
so the pumping plant will be included in this environmental assessment and the
It will
EIR
be.
and subsequent if it's required?
Yes, because both EIRs, the federal EIS and the CEQA EIR, have to, they can't really differ. They have to look at everything. So really, the EIR should mirror the EIS to not necessarily with the same recommendations, but taking into consideration all the environmental impacts that were in the EIS, and potentially more are identified.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I know there was a number of comments from both the county and other people who reviewed it who felt the federal EIS was lacking in some significant areas, and that is of concern.
And that would be the opportunity, everybody's opportunity under the full EIR process. But I would encourage the council too, and anybody else, to look at these documents, and if there's opportunities to comment on specific items related to these two documents, to do so.